you can't ever explain it until you played here.
Yeah.
And even though you try to explain it to people, it's just like, yeah, but it's 9 holes, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but what do? You just play it twice? I mean, like, there's so much more to it than that. It's bigger than golf. It's bigger than a 9-hole golf course. It's bigger than kind of golf in general. It's the experience. It's all the above. It's you and your buddies. It's the camaraderie. It's the interaction between, Colt or anybody that you get to talk to in the shed or outside of the shed. In fact, I mean, it's the coolest place where you can literally rand up as a single, randomly come here as a single and then play with whomever. And there's very few times in golf that you're like comfortable enough to do that. And a lot of people aren't. And here it just all those barriers get kind of like pushed down to the side, and that's what's neat about it.
Well, think about golf where it's at today. And sorry if I'm getting down going down a path we don't need to, but yeah, I know, right? So I was going to avoid the rabbit hole, but since you brought it up, all right, but think about it. Think about golf when you first started playing, right? And it was, it was like, you have to be quiet and you have to, don't say anything, and it's, and again, I think that, and again, from being there, there's music playing, it's friendly, it's like, hey, let's have a shot. Let's get going, and it's actually something, not to say golf wasn't fun before, but it was more, I don't know if laborious is the right word, but it's, it was very stringent, it was just so like, just going down a path of, well, if I'm not a good golfer, it may not be a lot of fun for me, but what if I do like it and I want to be better at it? And I think that you guys really do. And to speak for just the golf world, I think a lot of courses are, you're making waves, man, right? The things that you're doing there is pushing out to other golf courses, because if other golf courses don't start behaving in a more friendly manner, and hey, this is actually supposed to be fun from the time you pull into the parking lot until the time you leave. It's not just the 19th hole that's supposed to be fun, right? You should have a good time. It should be high energy and exciting all the way through. And that's what you get when you pull into your place. And I think that that's a lot, you get that a lot these days. There's still some kind of, I don't want to say, I'll say it's kind of crusty, crotchety. Oh, we're not going to go down that road. We're not going to. And guess what? They're not going to, the course may still be there, but the people running it aren't going to be there, because that's not who's playing golf these days, right? And maybe you've still got some of those guys that want that, but they are by far the minority. And it's the people that I want to have a good time on the way to the course, before I've hit a ball. I want it all the way through. And you guys are, the epitome of golf is supposed to be fun, no matter how you play or hit the ball today. Have a good time. It's an experience. It's not just a round of golf.
Exactly. And we just happen to have a really good golf architecture on top of it. So, we get the benefit of all of it, but we want that to be it. It's about, today I had a group of 12 come out here, and I'm like, look, you guys can play in 2 systems. I don't care. Play fast and don't screw it up for anybody else. That's your job. You know what? Have fun, enjoy yourselves, and if you want to play in 12, I really honestly don't care, as long as you're not going to ruin somebody else's experience.
Get out of the way, right?
Just get out of the way, enjoy yourselves, play fast, and enjoy the golf and the camaraderie, and have fun, the banter of playing in your group. That's what it's about. Everybody kind of collects in the 19th hole, and that's kind of where it's always kind of been, but why wouldn't you want to do it out on the playing field?
The whole time? Why wouldn't you want to do it through the whole round? It should all be fun, and it should be serious. And to quote Zach Blair, it's like, play fast and don't be a dick.
Exactly.
Sorry if I offended anybody, but but literally, it's like, but that's the thing, man. Hey, and if the hole's going that shitty, pick it up and move on, man. You're going to get to do it again. So just keep moving. But so think about your golf course, and and from talking about from an architectural standpoint, you've got a fantastic. You've got 9 what I would consider, you've got 9 closing holes at your golf course. Think about how many 18-hole golf courses you show up at, and it's like, well, this one was good and this one was good, and so you can probably pick out 3 or 5 holes that were like, those holes were just pristine. And then you've got another, whatever, give it 9 plus that were like, they were kind of okay golf holes, and you've got 9 solid golf holes. And again, as you move it up, I mean, you still got the same landscape, but depending on where and how you hit the ball, I mean, you've got a whole different vantage point. I mean, I'd be dumb to say you're playing a different golf course, but you're definitely playing a different round as you approach that. So.
Oh, definitely. And that's what I tell people. I'm like, stay at the same, especially if it's your first time, stay at the same tee box. Tee box is irrelevant. I mean, take a look at our putting green. Right, the putting green is very fierce and large, and it's totally King Collins, just this powerful like craziness, right? And obviously the golf course has a little bit of that. It's not as roided out as the putting green, but it's still got a lot of protection. Let's just say around the greens, like the length is irrelevant. So you're actually wanting to pick spots in these giant fairways. I mean, coolest thing about this place, it's all one fairway, right? So it's the most fairways I've ever hit in my entire life, which is terrific.
So for the casual golfer, irrelevant. You may hit a lot of fairways.
Yes, and that's why it's so much fun. And then you got 2 different pins. We got an easy pin and a hard pin, right? And we go at those, and they're such large greens and such different ways of hitting into it as far as your approach, that it doesn't feel like the same hole. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to play a lot of really neat golf courses, and I literally could play this golf course like every single day. I'm not just saying it because
hold on, don't you play that golf course every single day?
I do. And it doesn't get old. That's all right. That's the whole point.
But that's saying a lot, man. It's like
unique.
Yeah, exactly. It is very. I think it's unique and genuine in a sense that you don't get that in a lot of places. You mentioned something about the putting green there that's kind of roided out, right? It's just like super crazy. Not in a bad way, in a good way. But if you think like your putting green, so it is set up and structured. So you've got 2 different pin structures or 2 different green structures on every hole.
Pretty much. You could say 4. It really has 3.
Okay, so where I was going with that, and I don't know how you would measure it. I'm definitely not an architect. I'm an architect in getting that whiskey into that glass, but other than that, that's about it. But if you took the square footage of your total greens space, and compared it to I'm going to use the word a standard or typical 18-hole golf course, I would imagine that you've got as much or more than your typical 18-hole golf course.
So, and my superintendent will tell you, because he has to spray and do all that fencing, right? So, basically the square footage or the acreage of our greens is the same acreage as a medium, like normal sized green 27-hole complex.
Wow. No, oh, there you go. Okay, so my point. Thank you. I could have just said, "Hey, compare the 2." Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, 1,000%. That's what it is, and fairway wise, I mean, it's almost 36-hole complex because our fairways are so enormous. But we have a ton of fairway space, but the green wise too. I mean, and that's what's so unique about it. You have these 2 different corridors, but you can putt to them. So we kind of can cater to the golf purist in the same point for hitting a premium shot to reward you. You're hitting a good shot and it's rewarding you into access to a pin, or you can literally be able to putt up and be on the putting surface for a not so great golfer, right? So it kind of that's how amazing this place is too, in that sense.